Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever and whenever you are. I hope you're having a lovely day because you 100% deserve it. And my audio is not connected through my headphones this time, so the audio hopefully sounds better. It is Monday. I was blessed with some beautiful sunlight on my desk today. And as you saw in the beginning, I kind of redid the windowsill that my monitor sits on and that my desk is in front of. So I redid that recently, and I like it a lot better, at least on the left half. I basically moved all of my journals and notebooks to the left side of the windowsill so they are more easily accessible. The curtain is kind of tucked away on that side, so it makes grabbing things on that side easier. And it's technically closer to me because my desk is technically off center. And then I moved my box of little knickknacks to the other side. In that corner, I think I'm probably gonna try and find a different space for it. I'm going through a phase right now where I want everything to be really clean and minimal, and not have a lot going on. And yep, there it is. I have been doing this thing where I start off my videos with my journal half out of frame, only to realize that I need to push it forward. So we realized in a decent amount of time in this video that it needed to be up a little. But like I said, I like it a lot better. I added a plant because my plants they need some help. They have not liked moving to Idaho. It's a lot less light here. And it's just a different environment. It's a lot colder and a lot darker and cloudier for most of the year. So plants are not doing well, but I've ordered a little cloche because I'm going to try and put my begonias in a cloche instead, see if that helps keep some of the heat and humidity. I'm considering wrapping a blanket around them, quite frankly, because the best light is by the windowsill, but it's also colder by the windowsill, so yeah, gotta figure that out. But anyway, basically this week's Commonplace spread is I liked these 3 images. I thought they would look nice together, so I slapped them on a page together. There really isn't much more than that. I think I'm either going to have to accept that this page is going to be more journal-y and handwritten, or I'm going to need to find something somewhat relevant and short enough to fit at the very top once you see I play with the layout for a little. This is basically just pure self-indulgence because I really want a sword. I have always wanted a sword. I am one of those adults that really just wants a sword to hang on her wall, and then low-key wants to learn how to use it. I've always wanted to learn how to throw knives, axes. I do know archery, and I was pretty good at archery as a kid, so got that in the bag. And then this wedding dress, I forget the designer's name, I still have to put it in, but this is probably the closest I've gotten to finding what I would call my dream wedding dress that is not like a fantasy version of myself's dream wedding dress. I think I've gone through the different phases of I want something really big and poofy and ball gown, and then I've had I want it to be sparkly, and then I've had I just want a really simple silk slip dress, and at the end of the day, I'm not engaged. I have no plans on getting married anytime soon, and nor could I really afford a big fancy wedding. So this feels like a good happy medium dress. Feels fancy, feels like I could maybe cut it into something shorter after I'm done with my wedding, because I don't want my wedding dress to just be something that I wear once. I'd like to have it shortened to wear on anniversaries, or have future niece or daughter wear it at homecoming. You never know. Like I said, not planning on getting married anytime soon, even though there is a ring on my wedding finger, or ring finger. That is because it was supposed to go on my ring finger on my other hand, and that hand was just a tad too chubby. So what do you know? It's going on my ring wedding finger, which strangely, I thought more people in my life would notice. but no one did. Literally no one has said a thing about it. Other than like, oh, that's cute. Maybe like, oh, thanks, just got it. Like, I guess if they were saying, oh, that's cute, to try and pull something out of me, and me saying like, oh, I just got it, kind of answers their question. But I don't know, I guess most people are really bad at noticing things. I think they say it takes people like 2 weeks to notice a haircut, sort of thing. So maybe in 2 weeks they'll be like, wait a second, did you get engaged? And I'll be like, no. Posted a picture where it's visible on my Instagram, did not get bombarded by questions by my sisters, so that's a good thing. You see me playing with the layout here, and then the dress I wish I had printed out in color. It's technically a black and white photo, and I think you can tell because when you turn things black and white, they kind of get more of like a bluish green undertone. So I think I need to reprint it in color and kind of have that more ivory yellow. Hopefully that'll turn out a little better. And strangely, of course, I had so many things this week that I wanted to commonplace about. I think I can really tell where my mental health is at, or my creativity is at, based on how much stuff I have and want to commonplace. Like at the top left of the screen, you see 2 different articles, and then there's one in my desk drawer that I never got to last week of commonplacing. So I've got 3 technically like articles or little thing. One's a little folktale, and we do end up putting it in. But I've got like 3 different things I wanted to commonplace about, which makes me feel good because that means I'm reading and engaging with media instead of just consuming it. I'm engaging with meaningful things and wanting to print things out and have a discussion and talk about it rather than just like brain rotting, if that makes sense. So that's been really good, and yeah, it's just been a good sign that my creativity is coming back. I go through phases. There's no other word for it, of like where I just want to create and never want to go to work, and then kind of like my mind turns to sludge and I'm only creating, or my mind turns to sludge and I'm only watching YouTube, which is really bad for my brain. But I've kind of put myself on a thrifting ban, which I talked a little bit last week of like I'm bringing home too many little miscellaneous things where I need to be prioritizing saving for bigger pieces of furniture in order to complete some of the goals that are on my bingo card. And so I'm on a thrifting ban. If I have the urge to go thrifting, I have to go for a walk instead. And I didn't have the car today, so it was a lot of like, okay, well, let's pull out the journal, let's go on Sims, let's build a house, and the houses I was building on Sims today were relevant to my writing works in progress. I like to build the locations that I think of in my head. You realize how badly the brain is at creating realistic layouts for houses and buildings, which I guess doesn't make, isn't a big deal, but it is kind of interesting sometimes to take what's in your brain and try and put it in an actual Sims layout, especially because Sims I feel like is more restrictive than what real life would be. Like I think you can get away with a little bit more because you don't have to like do it on a grid system in real life. You can like customize your measurements and stuff, but it is really interesting to try and put it in the Sims, and you see how like, wait a second, that room makes no sense going there, it would be floating, or that doesn't give them a lot of space to do XYZ. So that's what I was doing on Sims. And then I finally finished I want to say final for now draft of my book, and emailed it to a friend of mine to do a beta read for, which is extremely nerve-wracking and extremely exciting, because I've never had my sister read the first couple chapters of it before and really liked it, which was exciting to me because she's not a YA reader, she's like a romance reader. And she really liked it, and so that was cool. But this is the first time I'm having like a stranger or literally anyone other than myself read my books. It's like the first time I'm handing my characters off into the world, which is terrifying because I think one of the reasons I haven't worked harder to become published is because this world is so sacred to me and is so ingrained in my bones and in my personal healing and expression journey. Like, this world is mine. It feels like an alternate reality. The characters feel real to me. They talk to me. And so to be able to hand that off to someone else and let them experience it in a completely different way that I have little to no control over, like how they perceive my characters, I have no control over. How they react to the situations my characters are in, I have literally no control over, and they're going to take from it what they will, and I have no say in it. You can't really decide what people will get out of your creative work, whether it's art or writing or a song. You can't control how people react to it. And that's both really cool, because that means that your piece of art will grow and become something new entirely based on how others are interacting and engaging with it and how it resonates with them. And it can mean something so niche and specific to them that you would have never guessed or intended to. But also at the same time, it kind of feels like I'm giving away a child for someone else to raise, and that their personality or their essence will somehow be changed because someone else is reading and engaging with this character, which feels both really unrealistic and extremely reasonable, especially because I feel like it's going to be hard to take the critiques and not take them personally. And I think on a surface level, I will not take them personally, of like, yeah, let's talk about the writing. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, what objectively you think could be better versus like, what is your personal taste? But also, like, I think there will be some little teeny tiny part of me that does take it personally, and I'm going to have to deal with that. And I think every artist, once they start publishing their work and putting it out there, will have to deal with that. I have not experienced that with putting my Commonplace pages out, because again, this isn't like, it's not the same, because this is like surface level. The book that I wrote is like, I literally wrote this book when I was a child, to heal and to deal and cope. And now it's become like an actual thing that is more coherent, but at the bones of it, the essence of it is still so vulnerable and so personal to me. But I think I picked a good first beta reader because, one, they read so many books. Like, I think she read almost 200 books last year in 2024. So they read a lot. They read the genre, or kind of like a similar genre to what my book, I don't know what genre my book would be, I'm being so honest, other than saying like young adults would like it and teenagers would like it. Or by saying it's like a modern YA version of Lord of the Flies. That's about all I got. But so she reads a lot, so I really trust her like expertise on like what a book should sound like and kind of how it should flow, and like a wide variety of that. But also, she's a really positive person and she generally gives good reviews. So I feel like it'll be someone who's really like, I feel like if you're gonna pick a first beta reader, you should go for someone who you know is going to at least support your work a little bit or get excited about it. And I think this person will lean more excited and want to talk about it with me, because they always want to talk about books with me. And so I have a feeling it will be no different than talking about some other book with her, but it's still nerve-wracking because they're not like, I'm not super close with them, but I'm close enough with them. I don't know, last year just taught me that taking risks is so much easier and less scary than you think. So I'm on the before the taking risk stage, where you still think it is absolutely and utterly terrifying to take said risk and to jump off said ledge. But I know, like, as soon as she reads it and gets back to me, I'm sure it'll be like, no, like, I think I'm just, not that I'm overreacting now, but you know what I mean, of like, this is the anxiety that likes to talk up and exaggerate and expect things to go poorly, when on the other side you're like, wow, it went so well, why didn't I do that sooner? I have a feeling it will be like that, and that's what last year taught me. So that's what I'm trying to bring into this year, is really focusing on passions and doing the things I want to do, because I feel like when I was younger, I would always say, oh, I'm 16, I'm 17, I'm in no hurry to publish a book, like, I have so much time, like, it's okay if I'm not published by 21, because, you know, there's so much time left. And now I'm like turning 25 and I'm like, ooh, I still have a lot of time, realistically, but at the same time, why am I putting my dreams on, like, a shelf, you know? Like, I'm at the age where I'm not focusing on school. I should probably be focusing on career, but if I'm not going to do that, if I'm going to just float a little, and that's okay too, why am I not also focusing on my dreams? Like, let's take that off the shelf and actually try and act on it. And act on it more than, like, in my bedroom, in my safe space. Like, let's put that out in the world. So that's kind of where I'm at. And what happened this week is I changed my desk. I couldn't sleep. And then I emailed the book off to be read. And that was not why I couldn't sleep. I've just been not sleeping well. Such is life. But anyway, my brain just turned off. I guess I said everything my deepest brain wanted to say, because usually when I stop talking, it means, okay, I got what I needed to off my chest. I hope your January is going well, or at least well enough. I know it's a weird time of year for a lot of people, in terms of, like, some of us are really like, okay, let's set some goals, it's a new fresh start, and then others of us are like, it's winter, we should be hibernating, and I'm kind of in both teams. Like, I'll do a little bit of goal setting, but I'm not really in any urge or rush to start acting on completing my goals. So let me know if you're similar, if you're in the, nah man, I'm using this as a fresh start, I've already knocked off like 3 resolutions, or I'm actively working on a resolution right now, or if you're in the camp of like, I wrote some goals, but we'll get to them when we get to them, or if you're like, nope, I hate the beginning of New Year, this is a weird time for me, I'm ignoring it all. Let me know which kind of person you are, because that'd be kind of interesting to talk about. But anyway, we're wrapping up. I'm basically just writing sources at this point, and then at the very end I write that I really want a sword. But you can see I kind of leave this page kind of blank, and I'm going to let it be a work in progress like my last page was. Like, there's still blank space on my other page, and I'm just gonna let everything be a work in progress, because that's okay, and that's how life is. Life is a work in progress. But like I said, whenever you are, I hope you're having a lovely day, afternoon, evening, night, morning, because you 100% deserve it, and I will see you guys all next time.